The Court of Public Opinion is a part of the Amateur Radio Network. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. Okay, so we're going to talk about pornography, not just in America, what's going on in your short proximity perimeter. Let's just say in your 20-mile radius, how pornography impacts you personally. Okay, well, you probably know this by now, but there might be a neighbor down the street that entertains pornography and you don't know about it. You don't know that you are the center behind their pornographic images. Or you could be in grade school and you don't know it, but there might be a predator. It's all happened to us, each of us that talk about pornography. Okay, we all have been victims of it, not aware that it was happening. We weren't aware that the persons involved were viewing pornography. Okay, I know because I found the material and I know how it impacts a child. Children act out. If there's pornography in the home, like images, magazines, videotapes, anything, children act out pornography or talk about it or talk about sex in a degrading way or in a humiliating way towards men and women. Okay. So you know pornography has to have played a factor in this. Somebody was acting out. And it's just a matter of finding out where was the materials and items. Or were they purchased for you, that person, or that individual that we're talking about. Okay. I know this firsthand. When somebody purchases something for me that crosses the line, okay, my first reaction is I'm not sure how to handle it. And then I find out more about the materials that were given to me at a young age. Me personally blaming myself, thinking I was responsible. That person purchased it. It wasn't me. Now, when a girl purchases items for themselves, that's a personal matter. When a man purchases items for himself, that's a personal matter. I don't argue because I know there's issues with people who are going to bring up the topic on masturbation. And if we're going to be biblical, though, it would be wrong. Okay, so that you know where we're coming from. When people talk about sex, they don't talk about sex in a loving, respectful, honorable way. Most of it is like dirty talk, comedy, late night shows. To be quite honest, they're not able to talk about it unless they make a joke out of it. Okay, so it's an awkward topic and it's brought up, but to be quite honest, to talk about sex, you have to talk about the responsibility. You have to talk about how if you plan on having children. And believe me, Planned Parenthood offers a bunch of things that, well, might not be exactly what you want. In fact, there's a lot of medical problems that happen to a young woman after they have an abortion. So you have to be smart enough as a parent or a friend or neighbor to educate each other on the facts. Like, you go into Planned Parenthood for birth control. You don't have to be a Catholic to know this, but there's some birth control that could have long-term effects or side effects. So you would talk to your regular doctor on this topic. I personally know there's a lot of people that don't want a large family. It's better to have this conversation with your mom, your dad, and your family or other friends or people you trust about the future you want, you know. A future where you could say to yourself, like, I want to talk to my principal about it, or the guidance counselor, the nurse, about what I want to happen in my future. Like at 17 years old, I was making decisions that were going to impact the rest of my life. I didn't know it at the time how important those decisions were. Okay, so, but I know the responsibility and the pressure of being in that situation. So to me, I would tell a young person, I wouldn't worry about it until the time comes. You should still have that discussion. You should still talk to your parents or the people you trust or your grandparents if your grandparents are your guardians. If you can trust that person with this type of conversation. The problem is that there may be a neighbor or somebody who has done something to you and you need to know the facts. So if you're not aware of somebody being having been pornographic or had plans with you and you didn't know about it, you're totally okay. Like that it's natural to feel fear and want to know where that aggression came from, okay? There are a lot of men that hate women. I'm saying a misogynist. There are a lot of men that hate women because of pornography. So please have that discussion. If not with law enforcement or somebody that you can trust again, it's going to save your life. It may save you your sanity too. Thank you for listening. All right. You listened to that speech. And I wanted to share with you just a few more seconds here. We have comments and questions, or anyone who wants to talk about this topic, you can also email us at mossyrosefield@gmail.com. And I could take your questions that way too, as well, for privacy. And I know that a lot of people have privacy concerns, so I'd be more than happy to read your comments and questions through the email instead of the comment section. A lot of people don't go on, and if you don't feel comfortable, again, you can email us at mossyrosefield@gmail.com. I know these are some very personal topics. I know some of us have been approached. I know some of us have been approached by adults. You don't know if they're an adult offender. You don't know anything about any of them. You don't know that somebody in your peer group is an adult offender. It's important to be safe and it's important to know the facts. Email us today.